Hi, this is Editor Troxel. In this tutorial we're going to look at another automation request to help speed up some processing, and the goal of this one is to take images that are between markers and extend them out to where the markers are located. So let's take a look at a timeline that illustrates what needs to be done. In this particular case we want to look at track 2. So we want to look at this one right here, and we want this one to be extended to the left to that marker and to the right to this marker. This one happens to start at the marker, so we just want to extend it out to the right. This one actually has a marker in the middle of it, but that's okay. We want to extend it to the previous marker and to the next marker, ignoring the marker that's in between. Here's where we get a problem. This one, we have a marker 9 and marker 10, but there's actually two events that are between those markers, so we can't extend either one of those to the previous marker without creating overlaps. So we are just going to ignore moving both of those to a different place. So let's take a look and see how we do that. Here we have our regular script with all of our normal stuff in it. And then down in the main routine, we're going to go through each track. In this case, I'm going to look for a selected track, and I'm only going to process the selected tracks. If this track is selected, then I'm going to take my last marker touched and set it equal to 0. What I'm going to do is try to speed up the processing a little bit by not having to go through every marker for every event. So instead of starting at marker 0 every time, I want to start at a later position. So we set this equal to 0, so that the first time we will start at the very beginning. Then for each track event on the selected track, I am going to set me a timecode value of where I want that event to be. So I'm going to set the left position equal to null, and then the right position equal to null. So I've got where do I want it to start and where do I want it to end. If either of these are null, then I'm just not going to change anything. So now I'm going to go through my list of markers. I'm going to start with I equals the last marker touched. Then as long as I is less than or equal myvegas.project.markers.count -1, remember we're 0 based, and then I'm going to increment I. Then I'm going to get my marker, which is a type marker, from myvegas.project.markers. I'm going to get the ith one. Then we're going to go through and look for both the beginning and ending position. Here, if my marker.position is less than or equal to the event start, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is the last marker that I've touched and set that equal to I. So next time when I go for the next event that's after this event, there's no need to go back farther to the left than this one. And so we're going to set last marker touched equal to I, and then we're going to set the left position equal to the marker dot position. So that way we will move the left farther to the left as needed. Then if the marker dot position is greater than or equal to the event end, if this mark is after the end, then I'm going to set my right position equal to the marker dot position. Now the question becomes, is there another event in between these two markers? If I found my ending position, I'm going to find my beginning position first. So if I found my ending position, then I can go ahead and do all of my other checks. So I found the beginning position first because it's farther to the left. So now I found the ending position. So now let's see, is there an event to the left of me that might be after this same marker that I've been looking at? So first thing I'm going to do is check if event index is greater than 0, because if it's my first event, I can't look to the one previous. So if event index is greater than 0, then I'm going to get the time code, which is going to be where the previous event ended from myTrack.events, and it's going to be event index -1, and I'm going to get the end position. So if the previous end is greater than my left position, then I'm going to set the left position equal to null, because I can no longer use it if this one is already into it. Then we're going to do the same thing for the event after the current event. So if event index is less than mytrack.events.count minus 1, if it's less than the last index, then we get the next event start. The one after this event is mytrack.events, and then the event index plus 1 dot start. Then if the next event start is less than the right position, then I'm setting the right position equal to null. Now we can finish this out by looking at our left position and right position. If our left position is not equal to null and our right position is not equal to null, then we can move this event. So we just take the event.start equals the left position, and then our event length is going to be the right position minus the left position. And then this break will break us out of the for loop so we can proceed to the next event. Now let's see how it works. As I said, it was going to work with selected events, so we're going to take and select track 2, and when we're done, track 3 is an example of what it should look like when we're done. So let's run this on track 2. And now you will see this event has filled in between those two markers. This event has filled in between those two markers. This one has filled in between the marker to the left and the marker to the right, ignoring the marker in the middle. This one and this one have not changed because they both end and start in between the same two markers. So this is just another way that we can use a script to help automate a process. I don't know if this is a procedure that you would find useful to help you automate things, but the person that I wrote this for really needed something to help automate how this process worked, and that way they can save a lot of time by using this script and not have to go through and do this manually for each one. So please subscribe. I hope you find this useful, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. Please sign up at www.jettv.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.